Welcome to AI for Good, the leading action-oriented, global and inclusive United Nations platform on AI. Organized by ITU, in partnership with 40 UN sister organizations, and co-convened with Switzerland. The goal of AI for Good is to identify practical applications of AI to advance the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and scale those solutions for global impact. In today's session, we're counting on you to use the live video wall feature to ask questions and post comments to help create an engaging discussion. We encourage you to stay until the end to chat, connect, ask questions, and network with our distinguished panelists and world-class AI experts in the neural network. It is now time to kick off the session and welcome our first speaker. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Anna. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from me as well. I am Guilherme Martinez Rora from the International Telecommunication Union, and I would like to welcome you all for joining the AI for Good Innovation Factory live pitching session on Meet the Startups Advancing Accessible and Affordable Healthcare Solutions for Everyone, organized by the ITU as part of the AI for Good Innovation Factory series. The AI for Good Innovation Factory is the leading UN-based startup pitching and accelerator platform that assists startups in expanding and scaling their innovative AI-powered and SDG-driven solutions, offering a multitude of opportunities, including global pitching, funding connections, top-tier mentoring, VIP experiences, speaking opportunities, participation in our Startup Accelerator program, and more. The platform has attracted over 3,000 startups that apply to participate in our monthly online and in-person pitching sessions. Supported by more than 50 international judges and mentors, the year-long competition culminates with the top finalists participating in the prestigious grand finale at the AI for Good Global Summit in Geneva, the final demo day where startups pitch to a panel of investors, VCs, and philanthropists for potential funding. The winner of this session will be invited to the AI for Good Innovation Factory Grand Finale at the AI for Good Global Summit in Geneva from the 8th to the 11th of July, 2025. And now I would like to give the floor to our moderator today. Her name is LJ Rick, and she's inventor, musician, international broadcaster at Perfect Pitch Productions. LJ, the floor is all yours.
Hey, thank you so much, Guillaume. It's so lovely to see you online. And everybody, welcome to the AI for Good Innovation Factory. The theme is healthcare, and I'm so honoured to be introducing the most fantastic lineup for you. We've got judges, we've got startups, and we've also got a little bit of intrigue because everybody is timed. Let's start then by introducing our judges. We have Samir Pujari, who's the lead AI for Health at the World Health Organization. My goodness, we're just getting some super important, super influential people, just the right person, I think, to start judging these startups. We've also got Alexandra Hirzel, entrepreneur from Digital Health. She's a serial entrepreneur and member of the board of advisors. Hello there. I'm wondering, am I meant to give you an opportunity to say a quick hello, judges, first, or should I just run through you all first and then we get straight on to the startups? It feels weird just introducing you whilst you all stay on mute, but I guess that's what we're doing. It's fast and furious, but it's lovely to see you there, Alexandra. Cedric Steenbecker from NVIDIA, Healthcare and Life Sciences Startup Develop Relations Lead for EMEA. My goodness, it's a long job title, isn't it? But it's also a very exciting one. These are the movers and shakers that our startups want to impress. And our judge lineup won't be complete without our final judge, which is Samart Shakar, who is our EMEA lead from 630 Ventures. Hello there to you. Oh no, hang on. We've got one extra one as well. You were just at the bottom of my page. Hello there, Samart. We've also got Sir Thomas Vigand from Fraunhofer University, the chair chair of the ITU WHO focus group on AI for health from the Fraunhofer Heinrich Hertz Institute. My goodness, this is a powerhouse of a panel, and judges, I do not envy you at all. You've got lots and lots of judging to do as you decide which of our startups will be able to pass on to the next stage in our incredible competition. So the way it's going to work, each startup will have 5 minutes to pitch and then get 10 minutes of questions from those amazing judges. It's all very, very friendly. Audience, we would love you to join in as well. So thank you very much for your attention. And as we don't have much time, let's start with startup number 1. That's Doro. Let's just get you up on screen and make sure that your sound and your camera is working. Hello there. How are you doing? Okay?
Hi, doing great.
Great. Are you ready? Your 5 minutes will start now.
Just give me a second. I'm sharing.
Oh, hang on. If you've not started to share the screen, there we go. Let's do it properly. Don't worry. You're all going to get the same treatment. Ready? And your 5 minutes will really start this time now.
Thanks a lot. Hi, everyone. My name is Dara, and this is Doro Oncology Made Easy, starting with skin cancer. In other words, we call it a co-pilot for oncologists. My story with this startup in particular had not started from something fancy, to say the least. I just recently lost my grandfather to cancer, and during this period of having to go through so much trouble and hustle of understanding why is it happening and why is it so hard to deal with, I've realized that doctors themselves have had it struggling and didn't necessarily had all the answers in place. And that's what also has been identified as a huge issue, whereby more than 5 million skin cancer cases are diagnosed annually worldwide. In the United States alone, it's at 25% of people, and 30% of skin cancer cases missed by general practitioner, usually due to lack of specialized dermatologist experience. However, Doro to the rescue, luckily we are here to help. Our AI proprietary model can have an identification level of 96% for skin cancer specifically. And we do have an LLM model that runs and basically collects everything required for doctors. How does it work for doctors? From the doctor's side, we can see that there is an admin panel. They can see everything in regards to their patients. And once something is updated, then doctor can basically ask an LLM to come up with best approaches to tackle a specific issue on a specific case. And that's something that we've noticed when we talk to oncologists themselves, is how hard it is to keep up with all these latest trends, with all these research papers, and how hard it is to come up with an answer quickly for the patient, because skin cancer is not something that will wait for you to come up with an answer. And for patients specifically, we do have a patients-facing app as well, whereby we have a risk assessment tool with our computer vision model specifically trained for that. And we do have a sort of a augmentation of each model's development, so that those people who have a tendency of having a high risk of skin cancer will be able to get their answers quickly from that platform. We are merging benefits of both chatbots and human with conversational AI, and constantly training our AI to be better, to make sure that whatever we suggest is basically approved by our doctors themselves. Market size is as follows. TAM right now is 25 USD billion. Just to note, this is only for skin cancer specifically, and SOM is 50 USD million as well. Sorry. Business model is as follows. We do have a plan for patients, which is $9.99, and it's a monthly plan. So those who have it on a regular basis will use it on a weekly or a bi-monthly basis. And then for standard clinics and bigger organizations, we do have a plan of like $500 for standard, and for pro, $1,300. Roadmap is as follows. We are planning to hit an MRR of 10,000K in June 2025. We are already generating traction from the clinics and from the B2C patients we are serving. And by February 2027, we are planning to hit MRR of 2.5 million. We are currently also going through a founders program from Stanford University and getting the help from there, as well as being accepted to Antler Singapore, which helps us to broaden our horizon and get investment funding quickly. Benchmark is as follows. We do have a competition out there, but something that we are different from is we basically try to help oncologists specifically rather than focus on patients only. And that's something that has been an improving case basically because AI is there to help on both ends to bridge the gap and make the decisions quicker so that more lives can be saved. Our team consists of an amazing individuals, considering me as an Amazon software engineer, and my co-founders are from Google and from University of Malaya graduates, and basically, as a whole, we have an amazing advisory board, having people from dermatology-related field with Matt Levy joining with 150 clinics in the US, and Christopher Slee being a CTO at Include Health. He basically has an experience of FDA being approved within a year time, which is very important in our solution. That's all from my end. Thanks a lot for your time. This is our QR code for the website if you want to check us out. And if you want to reach out to me afterwards, this is my email. Thanks a lot.
That was incredible. Completely on time there, just under your 5 minutes. Thank you very much. All this kind of noise is going on because my phone timer is making the same noise at the same time. My goodness, what an extraordinary story. Thank you for sharing some of your personal stuff as well. So many people have been touched by cancer. I'm 4 years all clear myself, and it's a really big part of healthcare in the future. So thank you for sharing and doing as much as you're doing. It's time now to get our judges involved. Judges, please could you turn on your camera and sound, and we will now hand over to the judges to ask and answer questions. You have 10 minutes and that starts now.
Hello, Doro.
Just go ahead and ask.
All right. So how did you train your algorithm?
Sure, amazing question. So basically we've used Google's credits that has been given to us in 100K USD. And in there we've used different computer vision models that we trained ourselves, as well as using Gemini to basically tailor it specifically to be engaging with our users, be it oncologists or patients. And then from there, we connected with our model trained for computer vision predictions, and also an LLM that has been gathering all this information in regards to the latest updates for skin cancer related questions.
How do you, if you can hear me,
Yes.
how do you localize the algorithms? Because you're saying you're testing in multiple regions, and skin, it's a very important problem, but has very localized challenges because the skin types are different for different locations. How do you adapt to that localization?
That's an amazing question, actually. In skin cancer specifically, we do have an issue when it comes to darker skin tone. And that's something that has been there for quite some time as an issue, not only coming from an AI side, but also coming from dermatologists themselves. They have to be specifically trained to diagnose it for darker skin tones. And for us specifically, we do realize that there is a slight of decrease in regards to accuracy when it comes to darker skin tones. But that's something that we tackle and move along with while working with those dermatologists that specifically work with darker skins. And that's something that helps us to improve the model. In other words, for like US, Brazil specifically that we are testing upon, it's a different case-to-case basis. And for us specifically, we do see a tendency that more like the whiter skin tones are using it because they have a higher tendency to get the skin cancer. And our primary focus in the US specifically right now is Miami, LA, and Texas.
Thank you. Cedric, over to you for a question.
I was wondering, right, you're saying you have an LLM and a computer vision model, mainly on the computer vision model. How do you obtain the data on which you train your current model? And how do you plan on scaling data collection for training in an ethical way?
A great technical question. Basically, what we have trained so far to have a sort of a POC ready and already testing it with our clients as well is we've gotten data from all the trustable resources out there that has been already released. That is being from Kaggle research base, from research papers as well. And we are also working closely with clinics themselves to get data from them. It depends on case-to-case basis. In the US specifically, you have to go to each clinic and have their agreements differently. In Kazakhstan specifically, you have to go to the government and talk to them. So we are working in regards to collecting as much data as we could and train it specifically. But we also use synthetic data to enlarge it and make sure that we get the most out of it. As well as if, let's say, there is another challenge that we're facing is about the quality of the image coming from patients and from the phone. And what we've done is we basically built a model that has an image converter from a blurry one to a more of a dermatoscopic one, which helps tremendously to our doctors. So these are where we are training and getting the data from. We also published research paper on that so that we have more credibility and trust coming from our doctors and patients.
Thank you. I'm aware there's 6 minutes left, so we're going to go to Alexandra for a question, and then on to Samir, and then on to Thomas, and then Cedric has a follow-up question. So let's start with you, Alexandra. I'll keep track of the order. Don't worry, judges.
I'd like to switch into your business model and go to market. Can you elaborate on your revenue? And in the US, we have quite a bit of competition. There were early entrants in the skincare space. It's a wonderful application of AI and ML. So how do you guys differentiate yourselves during the sales process? Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Sure. So in regards to the US specifically, it has been there for quite some time as an issue, but we have seen, and what kind of helps us to differentiate ourselves today is the fact that we are focusing mostly on oncologists, and those are the people who need this kind of application the most, and the bridging gap in between the patients. So mostly our competitors are focusing just specifically on the patient side and not necessarily working closely with doctors themselves. Another thing that we offer is an LLM that has been trained, and it's not something that has been there as much. There is a copilot for doctors, and more of a generic one, but specifically for oncology, this is something that has not been so far done. We only have like one competitor that is working on this directly. So this is why we believe that this is the right timing. And considering that we have both ends, dermatology and tech side in place, a strong one from both ends, we believe that we are good to go with this right now. In terms of go-to-market, right now we are testing it with several clinics, and we do have an MRR of 2,000 because we also have B2C traction as well, where we managed to sort of bypass some of the regulatory issues while positioning ourselves as risk assessment, not diagnostic tool yet. And that's something that we are in the midst of working, starting from day one, to make sure that our code is compliant with FDA approvals, make sure that whatever we are submitting is up to date. So we are planning to basically expand our operations by having these partnerships in place that we've already established, and working backwards with like AAD that's coming soon, and all these conferences where I get all of these contacts with all of these clinic owners, and then from there just basically get them to use this software. So that's the basic plan right now.
Brilliant. 3.5 minutes left. We're going to come to Samir, and then Thomas, and then hopefully Cedric if we've got time. Over to you, Samir.
Thanks. How are you learning from the science which is evolving in this space? There's a lot of open source algorithms and a lot of science developing on a regular basis. What are you guys doing to learn from that on a regular basis to adapt to your algorithms?
Sorry, I couldn't hear the question properly.
So the question is, how are you learning from the science which is evolving in the space of oncology and dermatology? There's a lot of new algorithms and open source coming in with benchmarking guidance. How are you adapting that in your algorithms?
Yeah, sure, 100%. We are constantly on the look for new outcomes from the researches that have been done. Primarily, we're looking at those that are done in Texas. They are pretty interesting in regards to skin cancer specifically. One of the doctors I'm talking to is Dr. Doro. He's an ABCD founder, basically, a method founder. And we are basically currently on the constant look, and our doctor's team as well is always updating us in regards to what's new, as well as we have our AI model set so that we get all the latest updates in our system, and then from there we basically adjust and update our AI so that it's constantly on the look. So for us, for example, we update our AI model on a weekly basis to make sure that it's updated with all the latest trends and resources, and that's why we try
2
to.
minutes.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I try not to spread too much. So we focus largely on USA and Brazil right now, and also currently in talks with Australia, so that we don't necessarily have to deal with too much noises out there because of all the different regulatory compliance as well.
Brilliant. Thank you, Thomas. You're up next. And Cedric, if we can fit that follow-up question in, I promise we will. 1.5 minutes remaining.
Two ones very quick. Where are you with your clinical trials? And I'm aware of about 15 skin cancer apps. What makes you outstanding?
Thanks a lot. So like I said, for clinical trials, we are currently running them. And it should be due by, that's why I put June for the latest traction update. And in regards to our main differentiating factor is because we are focused primarily on oncologists specifically, and those are the people that require our software, and they have complained that they don't have a necessary tool for them to gather all this information, and that's why they want this to be in place, and that delays the process, as well as for a practitioner that doesn't necessarily have all the answers in place when consulting their patients. They can basically speed up the process and use our AI for their own good. That's where we see the niche in market, and that's where we're different.
Go on then, Cedric, if you've got your follow-up question ready. We've got 30 seconds remaining.
Yeah. On the you said you use synthetic data to train your model as well. Do you generate your own synthetic data, or do you use that also from public resources?
We use both ends. We use our own synthetic data, and we also check and we make sure that whatever we train upon is right and concise. But for specifically our case, we try to leverage both ends and see the results and make sure that whatever we are adding on is not necessarily decreasing the model's accuracy.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Well done. Well done. I think it needs a bigger round of applause than my little one there. Excellent. Brilliantly done. Excellent timing. Judges, you were fantastic as well. And we're going to go on to our next contestant. My goodness, this was quite fun, isn't it? All right, judges are going to go back into hiding. And after our next 3 startups, they're going to be deciding on who gets to go further in the competition. But that was Doro. Well done. Let's get our second startup up now. This is ReproPlan. Just like before, I'm going to make sure that you can share your screen successfully. So come on up, come and join me, and we'll make sure that your sound and vision and presentation are working, and then we can go from there with our 5-minute timer. So, ReproPlan, are you there?
Yes, please, I'm here.
Excellent. I can't see you yet, so please can you turn on your camera?
Yeah, hello.
Oh, hello there. Excellent. And let's see if we can get your screen working. Do you have a presentation that you're going to be sharing, or?
Yes, please. I have a presentation.
All right. I won't start the timer until we get all of these things working, because otherwise it's just a little bit too crazy. So let's share your screen, and then I will start our timer.
Okay.
In the meantime, I've got some relaxing music in case we take a little longer to get things going. So if you want to join the AI for Good Global Summit, it's absolutely going to be just incredible, and it's in July, and I'll see you there because I'm hosting. It looks like you're ready, Rahana. That's great. I'll turn off my music and we're going to get ready to go. You ready? Excellent. All right, let's see.
Yes, please, I am.
Brilliant. Okay, so ReproPlan in 5 minutes. Your time starts now.
So I remember the first time I've heard of Amma. She was just 17, full of dreams, until an unplanned pregnancy changed everything. With no access to contraceptives, no safe place to find information, and nowhere to turn to, she made a desperate choice. She tried to end the pregnancy herself using a cassava stem. she didn't survive. The story of Amma isn't unique. It happens every day in Ghana and across Africa. Millions of girls and women lack access to sexual and reproductive health information and services they need. And it's not just about preventing pregnancy. It's about giving women the power to make informed decisions about their bodies, their futures, and their lives. That's why I created ReproPlan, to make sure no girl, no woman has to ever go through what Amma went through, to ensure that reproductive health care resources are just a click away. I'm Rihanna Yakubu, and I'm here to tell you how ReproPlan is transforming the future of reproductive health. The reproductive healthcare landscape in Ghana presents significant challenges. 31.1% of rural women and 28.7% of urban women have unmet family planning needs. 51% of adolescents aged 15 to 19 have unmet family planning needs, resulting to over 750,000 adolescent pregnancies annually in Ghana. And 100 new HIV infections are recorded daily in Ghana. The consequences: unplanned pregnancies, unsafe abortions, STIs, and preventable maternal deaths. There is a clear gap, and that's where ReproPlan comes in. ReproPlan is a digital reproductive health platform powered by AI. It offers comprehensive sexual and reproductive health information on contraceptives, a healthcare facility locator, personalized AI support, and last mile contraceptive deliveries. ReproPlan is not just solving only a pressing issue, it's also tapping into the growing digital market. Ghana's digital healthcare market is projected at 92.09 million by 2029, growing at 10.40 annually. 113% mobile phone penetration rate and 69.8% internet usage means digital healthcare solutions are the future. Yet, only 22% of sexually active women in Ghana use modern day contraceptives. The demand exists, the infrastructure is growing, and ReproPlan is positioned to bridge the gap between digital healthcare access and reproductive healthcare needs. Our business model includes subscription fee for premium and content and features, commission on last mile delivery, advertisement and partnership with healthcare brands. Our cost structure is app development and maintenance, marketing and user acquisition, staff and operation, and then compliance and regulatory costs. So why is ReproPlan different from other traditional healthcare systems why is ReproPlan different from traditional healthcare systems and other digital healthcare platforms? We have an end-to-end support, which we provide comprehensive information on sexual and reproductive health and rights. We have information on contraceptives. We have a facility locator, and also we deliver contraceptives right to your doorstep. And we have a clear roadmap, which will establish a strong adoption in Ghana. Then we'll expand to West Africa, targeting underserved communities. We'll eventually scale to other African regions and emerging markets through partnerships with governments and NGOs, pharmacies and healthcare providers, and mobile networks. AI is at the heart of ReproPlan. So it's about AI. Like the startup is about AI, and then we are going to have an AI chatbot which should provide private consultation and tailored guidance to our users. We also have predictive
Hi there.
which will anticipate user contraceptive needs on the behaviors and trends. Eventually, make sure security is also at the heart of AI. Of ReproPlan. We'll make sure that our users are data and security privacy is protected through end-to-end encryption protection and protection regulatory private global data protection regulators, and then Ghana's data protection agent. Capacity and boldness. So beyond our platform, we'll be creating community engagement and also empowering people through internship and then training for young AI and public health professionals. They will also be available for open source and then research institutions. ReproPlan align with 3 key SDGs:
Hi
good health
there.
and well-being, gender equality, and industry and
I'm
innovation.
afraid that's the
Our
end of
team
the
is made up
timing.
Okay.
Thank you ever so much. I know we had a few issues there with the audio, but we could tell, even with some of the audio issues, what an extraordinary startup you have. And we're wishing you all the best. It's incredible. What an amazing idea. Again, I really am worried about, if I was judging, how difficult it would be to judge. So thank you so much. Don't worry too much about the audio, because it's now time for our judges to come online and ask 10 minutes worth of questions. So I'm sure we'll be able to cover anything. And Cedric, I suspect that you'll be ready with some questions. And I can see Alexandra and Thomas also have their hands up first. So why don't we start with you, Alexandra, as you're up there, and I'm going to bow out and let you do some questions.
Thank you for your presentation. I think that privacy is incredibly important in some of those conversations you are entailing on having. Do you plan to sell your user data? Thank you.
I'm not sure if Rahana is here, but if you are, please could you turn on your camera and audio again, and we can hear from you. I have a feeling that was a bit of a dodgy connection there. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our third startup ready, and we're going to hear from them. This is if we can't get you back, Rahana, don't worry. And then if you can get reconnected, we'll come back for the questions and answers for you. Does that sound like a good plan, judges? Can we do that? Yeah. Okay.
Hello.
Oh, you're back? Excellent. All right. Let's see if we can do this. The question was about, would you like to maybe...
Sure, super quick question. I think you will be dealing with some sensitive health
Please,
information.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, can you hear me?
Hello, please, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, please, I can. Sorry, I have an issue with my internet.
We understand.
Maybe try to turn off your video if it becomes really difficult. Sometimes that's... Okay, let's see. So quick question. I think you will be dealing with sensitive area and on one data rather. And on one end, as an early stage startup, I understand that from revenue perspective, monetizing the data of your users, of your patients is really important. But on the other end, it could lead to some concerns. So the question is, do you plan to monetize your users' data for revenue purposes? Thank you.
No, please. We have revenue stream we'll be getting revenue through our premium features and also our commission on the last mile delivery. So it will be a supply chain where we have pharmacies and healthcare facilities we'll be working with, where we'll be generating our revenue from. So we are not going to monetize our users' data, but we'll have a well-laid roadmap or structure in which will generate revenue. So through last mile contraceptive, the commission on it, and on the the premium features we'll be offering. That's how we are going to generate.
Thank you very
Please,
much.
I hope you can hear me. I have issues. I break at a time and then.
It's fine. We can hear you. If you can't see us, we can absolutely hear you, and you've been answering brilliantly. We understand. All of us work with technology. We're aware of the issues, don't worry. And Samir has a question for you as well, and then afterwards we'll go to Cedric. So Samir, please ask your question.
I think Thomas was before me,
only.
so I didn't want to jump in. Thomas, you want to go first?
Okay. So you're using an AI chatbot.
Yes.
How do you make sure that the chatbot isn't hallucinating and not producing responses that are really problematic?
Okay, so the question is whether the chatbot can produce usable responses and how you handle it if the chatbot is returning responses that are problematic.
It will produce useful information because we are going to train it with right resources from WHO, UNFPA, and then we'll have healthcare professionals, as doctors and also IT people, checking these contents. So it's going to produce accurate and relevant data.
Okay, great. Thank you. Let's go over to you, Samir.
Thank you. So in terms of the maturity of the model, I mean, where do you stand right now? How advanced are you, or what is the timelines that you're looking at doing this thing?
So the question is about timelines. If you have a roadmap, I think there was a slide about expanding throughout Africa. Would you like to tell us more? I'm not sure if you're still there. I think ReproPlan, brilliant though it is, has been lost. I can see a disconnection there. So look, I've just done some timing and we've got 6.5 minutes left on those questions. What I'm going to suggest is that perhaps we can find a way to log those questions somewhere whilst we get our third startup ready. And if we manage to get a reconnection, then we'll ask after our startups just to see if Rahana can find another place to broadcast from. We've all been there, don't worry. So I've stopped the timer at 6 minutes 30 for that one, and we can hopefully come back to that. Judges, this is going to require a little bit of flexibility and cognition from you, but I know that you're capable of doing all kinds of complex things. So let's go on to our third startup for now, and we're going to come back to ReproPlan as well. All right, thank you very much everybody for your understanding. Everyone watching has been through this situation as well, and we are working with some incredible startups, some amazing places. So let's go on to our third startup. That's number 3. That's Revolutionize. I think that's how it's pronounced. Hi there, and we'll just turn off our cameras once you're ready to share, and we'll check that we've got your audio and video, and we'll start when you're ready.
Hi, my name is Romita.
Hi, Romita. Okay, are you ready to go? It looks like you are. Yeah. All right, your time starts now.
Hello, good evening. As a child, my mother used to tell me to oil my hair regularly, otherwise it would turn red. Years later, during my PhD in public health nutrition, I discovered the heartbreaking truth. The red hair is actually a sign of severe malnutrition. Red isn't just a color, it's a silent alarm. Do you know more than 1/3 of world's malnourished children live in India, leading to stunted growth, development delays, and higher mortality rate. In India, 61% of births still take place without a doctor at home. 3.5 million children are in SAM, which is severely malnourishment, and go unscreened. Their daily dietary requirements, including vitamins, remain unmet. Stunting and wasting is absolutely preventable if regularly screened. Then again, our current screening is broken. It depends heavily on manual measurements, which are often unavailable. Data entry is done by hand, prone to misrepresentation and human errors. Z-score calculation for malnutrition requires training, and without these, we are failing the children. There needs to be a better way, which is exactly why we developed MAP, Malnutrition Assessment and Action Plan. In Hindi, it means measurement. With just one single click of an image, our AI algorithm can tell the height of a child. And we are using growth ratios developed by WHO, which are gold standards in the world that can indicate and be reliable indicator of a nutritional status of a child. How does it work? Very simple. A frontline health worker takes an image. Our proprietary AI algorithm instantly measures height, calculates growth ratios, generates reports. Data is securely stored in a geotag tamper-proof database. Our ML models then use this data and correlates that with dietary information to generate personalized nutrition plan. Needless to say, we are committed to security and fairness. All our data is encrypted. At MAP, our vision is to eradicate malnutrition, improve child health outcomes, and leverage AI for global good. We are on a mission to impact 100 million children by 2030, empowering healthcare workers, teachers, and government to proactively track every child. Our market opportunity is sizable, gives us huge scale, and social impact, stands at $15 billion. And we are not just talking about it. We are already making a mark. We have already screened 100,000 children in just 2 years and have saved 2,000 children. We want to integrate our algorithms with the India's National Nutrition Program, Portion Tracker 2.0. We are already piloting with 3 Indian states, and at grassroots levels, we are working with multiple NGOs. MAP is gaining global recognition and is a true example of AI for social good. We are proud AstraZeneca Fellows. We have also won multiple awards. Most recently, Glenmark Nutrition Award. Even the government has invested in MAP And we are now using and leveraging all these partnerships in order to entrench into the public health systems. Our USPs, MAP's AI-driven single image height detection is unique and scalable. The gamification is a new novelty. We help government save a lot of money in the existing nutritional programs that are being run. MAP can predict future undernutrition trends based on socio-economic and demographic and dietary factors. At heart, we believe that profit and purpose can coexist. MAP is built for long-term impact. Cross-subsidization helps us making it financially stable. We understand that solving malnutrition is a complex problem, and we need everybody in this mission. So more than women empowerment, we are also committed to building DPI for India, which is why part of our algorithm would be open source. Behind MAP is a committed team of experts. I'm a healthcare entrepreneur with 2 decades of experience, and my CTO, Neil, is an AI scientist and is very passionate about social innovation. Our advisors and partners ensure that MAP is robust, validated, and impactful. In my 20 years of career, I've impacted more than 1 million lives. And in order to reach the next 10 million, I would need your support. Let's focus on children who are less privileged, and let's eradicate malnutrition from the face of Earth. Thank you so much.
Very much. Thank you, Justin, there. And well done to our third startup there. Let's get straight on to your 10 minutes of questions. And I can see that Samir already has his hand up. My goodness. Let's get going with these questions then. And I'll start the timer now. So I can see, Samir, you have a question.
Thanks,
and then we'll
yes.
go to Samarth after that.
Thanks for the presentation. What biomarkers are you using in your algorithm? You mentioned that you're taking a picture of the kids, and then is that it, or are there other biomarkers being used in this one? And what is the basis of these biomarkers?
Yeah, so WHO has already given 12 growth ratios or ratios on which they suggest how we can map whether a child is malnourished or not. We are using 4 of them. The biomarkers that we are using are height and weight and age. So with just 3 combinations, we are able to do 4 ratios. Eventually, with more data and training of AI algorithm, we would reach out to other ratios for which we need to take other measurements.
Okay, thank you very much, Samarth. It's up to you for our next question. Thank you. If you could unmute your microphone, that would be excellent. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks for the presentation, Romita. Trying to understand, based on your prior experience, having worked with the government, but also probably scaled using public-private funds as well, just how are you thinking about revenues? How have you seen ideas like this expand, and basically channels or revenues coming from either the government or from the private sector? How do you think about this?
Absolutely.
Because this is going to be big and huge undertaking, requires a lot of funds. So trying to understand that.
So I come from the private sector and had been a serial entrepreneur. And this is the first time while building that the government, the foundations, and the NGOs have come to us to develop this solution. So it came from the grassroots needing a technology solution. We had a tech team ready. And I am the bridge. I understand technology. I also am a practitioner at the ground. I come from medtech as a background. And today I see that PPP, public-private partnerships, including philanthropy, the another P, coming together and the sessions like this, talking about social global good. I think AI is just the right bridge where we would see a number of partnerships. The matrix of success have also changed. We talk about social return on investment. I think that's also a key to the impact, because people want to see more profitable, impactful, socially responsible startups in this space. And I think there's a huge scope if the private as well as public comes together to build solutions like this. And how the revenue model part, I think this is exactly where we are. Part of it is proprietary because we have applied for patents, it is trademarked. We also understand that we need more startups, private VCs to be coming. And for that, we are also allowing the government to make it open source so that they can learn, because we have invested on creating our own data set. We don't want others to start from the ground. We need more data, real data sets, India and population and demographic specific. And that's where I think the funding as well as intent would come.
Brilliant. Thank you, Thomas. You're going to be next, and then Cedric will be going to you afterwards. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you. So once you've taken the measurements and you came to a conclusion, what do you do with it? Are you there can be multiple reasons for malnutrition.
Yes.
Where do you get your conclusions from, advice from? How do you interact with the parents? What's the approach there?
Yeah, so our sweet spot is tackling the screening and the measurement part, because if you remember, even at home, we used to have this wall where we used to measure kids. At India community level, the stereometers don't work, which is a gold standard scales. It doesn't work. The healthcare worker is supposed to, she's paid by the government of India. She's supposed to go to each house to take the measurement of kids. They don't, and they misrepresent. This is exactly where our technology counts. Now, the sweet spot is the screening part. Now, because we have generated trust on the ground, they also expect us to give a solution. And hence, we have started giving simple recipes that would enhance the dietary or nutritional content of the food, which is local, contextual, which is exactly where we have our partners, NGOs, philanthropy, already working on ground. So we are also the monitoring and evaluation partner of the government, of the NGOs already working in the nutrition. Last year, India spent $2 billion on nutrition itself. So there's a huge scope, even if we are focusing just on screening and monitoring and giving tamper-proof geotagged data that is specific to every child. And we ensure that it gets done regularly, because right now it is human dependent. The lady would turn up only after 3 months with just an application. We suggest doing this screening every second week. We can then see whether the growth is happening as per the WHO standards. We are also building India-centric standards, because the standard deviation for India is different, because we are different people. And now we have the WHO standards, right? So the more data we collect, we would be the first DPI or first India-centric population scale data sets meant for Indian population to be able to suggest whether a person, whether a child has malnutrition as opposed to Indian malnutrition as opposed to a Caucasian white child.
Excellent. Apologies for interrupting just then. It's just to let you know there's 3 minutes and 12 seconds left. So it's time for our next question.
Actually, I've 2 questions. One on your the data set you're collecting, on if you're planning on using that in a academic context, right? I can imagine that there's universities in India or across the world that might want to leverage that data set for training, and what the plan is there and how you think about that. And the second part is as well on the community building part, right? Again, you're generating quite an interesting data set. You said you capture today weight and age. There are 9 other metrics the WHO gives in the guidelines. Are you planning on tracking those 9 others as well? And in that case, how are you going to collaborate with your peers in the startup ecosystem in India and across the world to make that data useful for training other models or more models?
which is exactly why we need to be successful for them to even see that a public health startup can be successful in India who is working with the government, because B2G apparently used to be very dreaded. Yes, to answer your question, we are already working with a lot of partners, state government, central government, NGOs, foundation, philanthropy, and hence we want to leverage the channel that is already present on the ground. From our side, with regards to the data set, we have built it from scratch, and we understand it takes time, enormous investments. We were funded, and we want to leverage that. The initial data set came from WHO. We were also given access to the Indian data set, which comes from Portion Tracker, because they wanted us to calculate and predict malnutrition for the next 3 months to 6 months, right? So they had this data. So there's already a pool of collected data. We just had to reduce the noise, make it usable for us to, make an entire pool that could be trained. So there is data set from the government, there is data that we have privately collected, and now there are peer academic bodies who are interested in doing or writing papers with us, doing research that we want to support, because we understand it's a complex problem. We want everybody on board in the same boat to solve this for good, for India, to the world.
Okay, there's just enough time, Alexandra, for your question. I don't know how fast we're going to manage this. Let's see.
Good question. From actionable insights perspective, you can connect with the clinician to treat the problem. Another way to connect a family that's struggling financially to provide food with a government resource for, let's say, stamps. Do you have a means of using that? Thank you.
Oh, I'm so sorry we're out of time. This is 10 minutes. Sounds like a long time until you have to ask questions and answer them. But you've done brilliantly. Judges, thank you also for your amazing questions. Revolutionize, thank you very much. And we've got one more startup left to show, and then we're going to see if we can get our previous ones back. But for now, let's head over to Take Care Mom. Hello there. Are you ready to go? Let's get your audio sorted and we'll get your presentation ready, and I'll get the 5-minute timer up.
Okay, let me know if you see my screen. It's in presentation mode.
I can see your screen. I think we're ready to go. So without further ado, your 5-minute timer starts now.
Awesome. Hi, everyone again. My name is Zula. I'm CEO and co-founder of Take Care Mom. Imagine a world where every mother has access to personalized, trusted healthcare for herself and her child. And a world where health risks are detected before they become problems. And technology is not just a tool, but a lifeline. The world is closer than music. Take Care Mom is making it a reality. Millions of mothers and children around the world miss the care they need, leading to serious health consequences. 1 in 5 mothers develop postpartum depression, but 75% go undiagnosed. In many regions, there's only one pediatrician for 10,000 children. And moms turn to Google for advice, where 70% of that parenting advice is unverified or misleading. This crisis is not just a healthcare problem. It's a global economy problem, costing $14 billion annually. So, Take Care Mom is an AI-powered healthcare system that ensures that no mother is left without expert-backed advice. Mothers can ask any health-related questions and get evidence-based medical answers instantly, eliminating the need for endless Googling or unreliable online advice. For cases requiring expert intervention, moms can chat directly with verified pediatricians, psychologists, maternal health specialists, bridging the gap between AI and real-world medical expertise. To provide proactive care, Care Mom includes AI-powered health trackers for baby growth, feeding, sleep, and maternal mental health, ensures that no warning signs go unnoticed. We also know that mental health is not just about the community, but it's about the support. That's why we have our community that connects mothers with each other and trusted professionals, creating a network of emotional and medical guidance. So Take Care Mom is already proving that AI-powered maternal health care is the future. In just 6 months, we've expanded in 10 countries with 77% user growth. We've secured a 40K grant from different organizations, including both in Kazakhstan and US, onboarded 50 plus doctors, and processed over 100K health queries. We ranked number 5 in App Store, and recently we were number 3. We took a third place as the best healthcare project in Kazakhstan. And currently we're in Ankara, Indonesia for an acceleration program. The maternal healthcare market is valued at $500, and the market is growing vastly. The digital part of it will be $946 billion by 2030. And with scalable AI model, Take Care Mom is poised to capture $800 million market by 2030. And we're not just another parenting app or a health chatbot. It's an AI-powered maternal health care platform. Unlike generic parenting apps, we provide real evidence-based medical guidance, not just community advice. Unlike AI symptom checkers, our AI doesn't just react, but it predicts. It learns from every mom's data, getting smarter over time and personalizing recommendations. And unlike traditional telehealth, we bridge AI, healthcare, and specialists and community support, and in one seamless experience at a fraction of the cost. We begin with a premium model to build engagement, offering moms free access to AI-powered health insights. Revenue is generated through premium subscriptions, telehealth consultations, and AI-driven product recommendations, while enterprises with partnerships in hospitals, insurance companies, and employers, they drive the scalable growth, turning Take Care Mom into default AI-driven maternal health solution globally. Our go-to-market strategy leverages viral growth through community-driven referrals. We already have reach of 3 million people, doctor partnerships to build with medical trust, and B2B deals with employers and insurance, and creating scalable, low-cost user growth. And with these channels, we're expanding rapidly and planning to scale globally. We're parents with real experience in both parenthood and scaling business. Our combines startup expertise and experience in international corporations, ensuring that we both have passion and capabilities to drive Take Care Mom to success. We're looking for strategic partnerships, hospital insurance, and corporations to help integrate AI-powered maternal health care. We need industry support from governments, health organizations, and policymakers to scale the solution. And we're also looking for regional partners to help us expand. Mom is more than just an app. It's a transformational platform, making healthcare more accessible, proactive, and personalized for millions of families all around the world. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. That was also on the nose. Excellent presentations from our startups, by the way. Really good, really well done. And I'm sure there's an audience full of people who are ready to ask more questions. But for now, that privilege goes to our judges who are ready to go with questions as well. And I can just see very quickly there, Thomas, I think you had your hand up first, and then Alexandra will go to you next. All right. How does that sound? Does that sound okay? Good. Let's go for it then. Your 10 minutes start.
Also okay with Samir going first.
Oh, I see. Well, oh my goodness. What should we do about this? Let's, I tell you what, do you know what? As Alexandra was very close near the end and didn't get her question answered, I'm going to be completely unilateral and ask her to go first, then Samir, then Thomas. Your 10 minutes start now.
Great. I love it. Quick question. Which languages do you provide support in? And then what's your current revenue, and what is your exit strategy? And I would like brief answers to each. Thank you.
Right. So currently we have revenue of $5,000. Exit strategy, we're planning to raise until round C, and then sell it to a big pharmacy company or a healthcare organization or an insurance company like Cigna or something similar to that. And what was your first question?
Languages.
We have it in 3 languages currently. It's Russian, English, and Kazakh. It was sponsored by the Kazakhstani government mainly. But we're planning other languages as well.
I'll go next in that order then. What's the use of AI in your system? I mean, where does the AI come into play? I wasn't very clear on that one. And then second question is, what is the scientific basis of the content that you're using? What are the sources of the scientific content that you're using for the guidance that you're providing?
So AI is basically, we have an AI assistant that works as a psychologist, works as a pediatrician, nutritionist, and an early development specialist. And moms could use it like a search engine where they could get personalized responses that is evidence-based. And we get our data with a combination of funneling and teaching AI and using a medical AI called MediSearch, which has only research-based responses, but we tweak it in a way that is highly personalized and it learns from data that moms give. And from the more questions mom asks, it gives the more personalized responses.
All right, Thomas, over to you, please.
Yes, basically perfect that we switched the order. A follow-up question. When the AI LLM responds based on data that it got, how do you know that, again, it's not hallucinating, it is basically adjusting, adapting the research, the data to the special requests that you're seeing? And how do you make sure that that's happening?
So what we do is that parents, whenever they're not satisfied with the response and they know that it's hallucinating or it's not very decent, they could flag it. And we get that response and we can check it with our verified specialists. We have over 50 specialists in different areas. So we can check it and make sure that next time it would give a better response. And another step is whenever parents need an extra opinion or more deep diver and AI is not giving the right response, they could go directly and chat with live specialists that we have in our platform.
Are you planning to seek FDA approval for your?
In a 5 years perspective, definitely we will need it. But currently, it's an individual consultations with different specialists that we have. We serve as a platform for them to have a consultation with specialists. And the thing is that all the specialists that we have an advisory board of best doctors in Central Asia, and they get an approval from them, like an interview, and then only have access to our platform. So it's not just everyone with some kind of expertise, but really evidence-based people that will not harm anyone.
Thank you very much, Cedric. Let's get a question from you, please.
In an earlier answer, you said you have different personas for your LLM, right? From gynecologists to psychologists and so on. Does that mean that you use multiple models? Because you said you're using MediBird, I think, or MedBird
yes,
today.
MediSearch, we're using multiple actually models. So we use a combination of ChatGPT, Gemini, and MediSearch, depending on what kind of specialists we're getting. So it kind of tweaks and helps. So our AI people, they have been working on it. And eventually we want to like having our own model where it responds all the time. But currently we're using what like open sources provide.
How do you safeguard your data then if you're using models like ChatGPT and Gemini? How do you make sure the data your patients or customers or clients put into your app does not get used for purposes that your end user does not intend to?
So this is a very highly technical question, but I know for sure that since we are placed in Kazakhstan and we're not allowed everything that is in Kazakhstan, we have to have servers where they keep the data. So it doesn't go to an external country. It's all in the servers that we have in Kazakhstan.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right, Alexandra, your question next. Then we've got some questions from the audience as well. So over to you, Alexandra.
Thank you for your brief but deep answers. I am interested in a reimbursable, in the reimbursability of your application. So it's clear to me, please correct me if I'm wrong, that in the United States, that's out-of-pocket cost. I'm not familiar with the insurance reimbursement models in Kazakhstan and Russia. Is everyone paying out of pocket? And then the enterprise model that you have, can you elaborate on that, trying to understand your business model?
Yeah. So what's happening in Kazakhstan and overall our region is that enterprises already give you a designated clinic where only there you could go. So it's not like you pay and then they reimburse you, but it's already you can go to this certain clinic and that's it. Or like you can use this certain clinic and this certain telehealth. So we're using that as our advantage of having that, okay, we're partnership with a clinic, we're partnership with an insurance, and we have a telehealth in between them. So moms don't run to pediatrician when there's some kind of a weird dot in their kid's face. They can use it through our AI consultant, and we lower the cost for the insurance. But at the same time, they might lose something that, okay, my baby is not eating sugar or like meat or anything, right? So it might tell you that, hey, this is a red flag, you should go to a doctor. So it kind of benefits the mom of like helping to prevent some kind of issues, but at the same time, it gives them peace of mind to not run to a pediatrician and cut costs for the insurance.
Brilliant. Thank you. We've just 3 minutes remaining. Oh, Alexandra, did you want to do a follow-up?
I'm trying to understand. So the Mom's Pay, I was actually trying to download this app. So I saw that you require a pay for download for the mother.
No. We don't, you don't require, you don't have to pay. It's like if you want to purchase the premium, you can buy it. But for now, it's just, you can download it and you can use most of the things for free.
All right, 2 minutes 37 remaining. A question from Ngwaru Munodawafa. Great presentation. Since the app is made to change as the user interacts with it, how do you ensure the changes in the model are improvements and not harmful? That's a question from our audience watching.
Wow, that's a very deep question. So it's from what I've understood, it's how the responses that they give, they're not harmful. And the way what we do is all the responses. So there's like a database of questions that most of the moms ask most of the time. So they are like highly trained from our specialists. And then there are like, if there's a unique question that AI does not really know how to answer, it usually tells that I don't know how to answer, but you can go to this and this specialist. So that's how we don't really cause harm. We don't hallucinate, but we actually help and at least provide a way to which specialist the parent should go to.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. There's 1 minute 30 left. Do we have any more questions from our judges? I do have another audience question, but judges, Samir, please go on ahead.
Question on the content again. How do you validate the messaging that is going out on the health content which is being generated, and what is the source for that?
So the source is mainly for the medical content. It's MediSearch, which is a Y Combinator-backed startup also that is working for like last several years. And their data is on like all the medical researchers from different organizations. And it's not like a 500 people research, but it's like a 5,000 people research. So it's huge and it has really backed up information. So we use that for medical data. And if we're not sure of something, it kind of directs you to a real specialist. And for all other medical data, it's worked through and filtered through our specialists that we have in all around Central Asia. We do it both in Kazakh and Russian and English. So it's all correct, and because we're very accurate, we try to be very accurate on what we say and how we say it, so no one will be harmed in any way possible. That's why we don't work with pharma companies. So there would be like vitamins and like iHerb stuff. So we're like very doctor evidence-based medical. So we will not cause any type of harm for anyone. We try to be very careful with this kind of stuff.
Okay, and with 7 seconds left, I think it's pretty impractical to try and get anyone to ask a question. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And wow. I have to say, startups and judges, you've been absolutely incredible. It's a real shame we've not been able to get ReproPlan back, but hopefully there's enough still to judge for judges as we invite you to go off to your secret cave, i.e. another meeting room, and discuss who you think are going to be the people going forward to the next stage in the event. So judges, a round of applause for you as you head off to your next little assignment. In a few minutes' time, we'll have you back.
I'm here.
Oh, you are
Hello.
here?
Yes, please. I'm here.
Ah, excellent. Well, in that case, I wonder if it's too late to get the judges back for those 6 minutes of questions that we owe you. Do you think that's even possible to do? This is quite ambitious. We are trying our hardest to make the technology work, but I can just hear we do have ReproPlan back, and we want to give as fair a chance as we can to everyone. We're not going to let technology get in our way. So 6 minutes, 32 seconds remaining for our questions on ReproPlan, which was our startup number 2. Thank you very much, judges. Please, can and you continue with your questions. I think, Thomas, if you'd like to have a question ready, and Alexandra, if you have a question ready, and either of you are welcome as we restart the timer for ReproPlan. It's going to be audio only because it looks like it's a... Oh, I think we're giving it our best shot here.
I can go in because I had my question, which I don't think was answered.
Yes, please do, Samir. Appreciate it.
So just wondering, Rihanna, thanks for the presentation. Where do you stand in terms of the maturity of the algorithms and the AI that you're using? What stage are you at right now?
Okay, so please, we are still in the development stage. Yes, please.
So I think we're asking about the maturity of the AI model, if you can hear us.
Rihanna, can you elaborate a bit on when you say you're in the development stage? Are you at the very beginning? Have you some parts of the algorithms developed, or it's just a concept?
Hello, please, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Can you hear
Yes.
Samir's question?
Yes, so please, with ReproPlan, the whole app is still in the development stage. Same with the AI integration and everything. We are still in the development stage. We don't have like the app being developed yet. We are still in the development stage with everything.
Okay, thank you very much. And Alexandra, do you have a question as well?
Actually, that was my question. I wanted to know where they're at in terms of MVP. But just super quickly, I think there is a way for you to, once you have an MVP ready, you don't need to have your AI ready to deploy it to gather some user feedback. In fact, you can probably, through your partnerships, generate some revenue. You don't have to really spend a lot of time in the product development to put the market. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's amazing is that this is becoming already a mentoring scenario with some advice being given by our incredible judges. So that's really cool. Okay, do we have any more questions for ReproPlan? I'm really happy to see you back on. Okay, I think because we are at the end of time, we're going to say, look, there aren't any more questions, which means they've all been answered, which means that it's time for the judges to go off into that secret cave and return back with some answers on who is going to proceed to the next segment. So thank you very much, judges. You've been amazing, and we're going to just bring back our startup people, and maybe we can have a little bit of a chat while the judges are deciding. This is very exciting. So take care, everybody. We're going to put some music on whilst we get our startups back. Here we go. Actually, I'll choose this one instead. I know things have been a little bit crazy here, but that's part of the fun when you try to do something a little bit ambitious, which is, of course, doing a startup competition online from about 1 million different venues at once and do a live judging as well. So I can see Take Care Mom is back on. Can we get our other startups here, please? There's Revolutionize. And our first startup, are you around as well? That's Doro. Doro, would you like to come back up? Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. The people who have managed to be here, because I know there are always some issues with technology, and thank you, audience, for your amazing patience. There we are, Doro. Okay, excellent. I'm going to turn the music back off so that we can chat again. So, everybody, how do you think your pitches went? You were all on time, which is already quite a scary thing to do. But let's go to Doro first of all. What do you think would be, if you could say one more thing to the judges who are now secretly away and deciding so they can't hear anymore? What was the one thing that you'd have loved to have said to them?
Yeah, I think that in general questions were really neat and concise. I really like the technical part because usually you just get the business part of it covered mostly, but technical is not necessarily asking. So that's what I'm truly grateful for, is the deep dive into the technical part.
Oh, brilliant. Yes, we're all quite nerdy here, so it's very nice to talk about the technical part. Thank you. Okay, and Revolutionize, how about you? Is there anything that you really liked the judges asking? Anything that you would wish that they'd ask you more about?
Yeah, I just love the fact that they just got it, right? So it's a huge problem that we are solving, and they just knew already from the deck what we were even trying to do, because it's difficult with just a deck and 5 minutes pitch, and 5 minutes is too less. Yeah.
Yes, it's both a very long time and hardly any time at all. And I train people on how to present, and it is an incredibly difficult thing, especially when you've got that feeling of this is my business and I have to push it all into this tiny 5-minute ball and make people want to spend money. Well, thank you very much for that. And so, what about you? Is there any question that you wish you'd been asked, or did you enjoy the process more than you thought? Tell us a little more.
Yeah, I just loved it. Loved. I wish we had more time because I couldn't answer the last question and I had a great reply already, Like as they were asking questions, we already know what we want to say. And yeah, and of course, I mean, you were the moderator then. I just wish I had 30 seconds more.
I think everybody does. And from Take Care Mom, let's ask you as well. Is there anything that you thought, oh, I'm really glad I got to answer that question? And did it feel better than you thought?
Actually, it did, because I just refined my presentation for like 80% of it just before 10 minutes before the presentation started. I was really nervous, like how I'm gonna pitch and like what I'm gonna say. I was scared that I'll start stumbling and forget all the words, but it turned out really great. And I love the questions, especially about the AI, because what we've been really concerned, because we're really careful with what we say and how we say, because all our specialists are like world-class doctors, and they're like, do not dare to say this, do not dare to say this. They were very strict about all the responses that our AI provides. So I was really happy to tell and like kind of brag about how amazing our doctors are and how we're really helping. Yeah.
No, it was fascinating hearing all of your stories and watching how you're putting everything together. It's a really exciting thing from my perspective, actually, just watching all of these incredible healthcare innovations just coming out and just growing into the world. So thank you all very much for that. I guess we've got a few other questions that I can ask. I mean, the one thing that I think is amazing about these particular events, the online ones at the ITU AI for Good platform, is that the people watching are also generally really influential, really interested in this area, and really probably are in a position to help you do more. So what I'm going to do as I have the opportunity is I'm going to get you to ask our audience what you're looking for help with specifically. So if there's an area that you really would like a little bit of extra help in, I want you to put this out to the world, because there are a few hundred people watching, and maybe one of them might say, hang on, I specialize in this and I can help you with. So that's what would you like to feel that you could get more involved in, or any help that you would like. So I'm going to start with you, Doro. What would you look for? What would you like people to get in touch with you about?
Sure. Definitely client space wise, we are currently on the look for clinics, med spas, and who are interested in integrating our software, as well as fundraising. We're currently raising, so if there are any investors out there, we are open to talk and collaborate. And last but not least, we are currently on the look for people for sales and marketing part of the story. So if anyone interested in that part of the deal would be really interested to talk. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Okay, Revolutionize, you get the idea. What would you like help with? Where are you looking? Who are you looking to connect with?
Oh, we would love to connect with investors, deep tech, health tech, med tech, as well as researchers, academic, non-academic scientists who are working in machine learning, AI, nutrition. We would love to explore more statistics, mathematical models for correlation of different nutrient and their role in cognitive development, because we understand very less of brain. And I understand through my research that critical elements and key nutrients are super important, but very less studied. And we would love to do research on that with you.
Oh, wow. So it's like a healthcare, biotech kind of crossover thing. See, this is the sort of thing that happens at the AI for Good Global Summit. We get a bunch of people over from all over the world, all these different specialities. And then you just give them loads of coffee until they're literally vibrating with ideas. And then you put them all in the same room. Okay, well, let's over to you, Take Care Mom, and I'll explain what's going on. We're asking, what would you like help with from the wider audience of people watching? And I'm really glad that we've got ReproPlan back on as well. So let's go to you first, Take Care Mom, and then we'll head over to our fourth startup, who you're doing brilliantly with a terrible connection. Don't worry, we've all been there. We all know what that's like, okay? So over to you, Sophia.
So for us, firstly, we're looking for global expansion opportunities. So if you have an organization, an NGO, or a community for moms or for parents or anything related to in this area, would be glad to have a partnership and talk more about it. We're also looking for experts, actually, if you're passionate about children's health, about maternal health, about mental health. We would be glad to talk, because we are always in look for a great specialist, especially who speak English and even any other languages, because we need that for a better localization in different regions that we go. And we're look for also investors or grants or NGOs that want to support us, because we actually started as a really small social project from like a $600 grant, and we grew into a startup. So I would love to talk. And if you have any questions, I'm glad to answer to anything else. Just reach out to me.
That's brilliant. I know. I mean, I have a bunch of questions about all of these things and all of the startups, because these are really incredible and amazing ideas. And I really hope that no matter who gets selected to go further, I'm really wishing all of you the best in your journey. They're all incredibly amazing and worthy and taxing and challenging and awesome things that would make the world better. All right, let's see if we can get Rahana to answer, what would you like to talk to our amazing audience about? Anything that you're looking for, any expertise that you're after, or anything that you would like help with? If we could just get you to unmute your microphone as well, that would be brilliant.
So we are looking for investors and funders, and then we also expertise in AI and then software engineering, then surgery and reproductive health. We are looking out for mentorship as well, and for strategic partnership with NGOs and government agencies that will want to work with us, as well as people to champion our projects in their networks, people to amplify that visibility. You want it as well. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. So that's mentorship and amplification of ideas. This is all absolutely brilliant. I wonder how the judges are getting on. Let me just type on my, because what I do as my part of what I'm doing, I'm not just sort of chatting on screen. I'm also furiously doing the timing. I'm working out what's going on behind the scenes, and there's a whole ton of other things. And I have to do all of that whilst looking into the camera and making it seem like I'm totally relaxed, when actually it's complete mayhem underneath. So I'm just going to see how the judges are getting on by typing into another window. How are the judges getting on? And there we go. And the thing is, with the AI for Good initiative, I think one of the things that is really difficult is balancing safety with innovation. And all of us are using data that's to do with healthcare. And I think that's a very sensitive sort of part of, well, all data is sensitive, some more than others. So I guess this question is to everybody. This isn't going to be about your particular startup, but where you would like the world to go forward in terms of how healthcare data can be handled. If we've got any thoughts on how to go about that in a way, how do we help people feel more relaxed about sharing their data with AI? Big question. I don't know if anyone fancies that answer, actually. It's probably quite difficult. I do know, though, that the judges have been asked how they're getting on, because we've got maybe 4 minutes or so, and we need some time for them to also announce the winner. But this is all very chaotic and exciting, isn't it? So I think what we're going to do, as we've got a little bit of time, is I'm going to ask each of you to just give me a quick 30 seconds of what you would like to do next. And that just an idea of this year, 2025. Let's assume that you are going to get funding. Let's assume that you're going to get mentorship. Let's assume that you're going to get the amplification. What's the first thing you're going to do when you get that news that you're going to be funded and mentored? And this time I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to start with Take Care Mom, and then I'm going to head to Revolutionize and then on to Doro. So Take Care Mom, what's the first thing you'll do if you were to get that big check and help and mentorship? What's your next thing?
Well, so the first thing I would do is hire full-time our community manager. She has been doing it mostly volunteering and working like 20, 30 hours per day, per week, I mean. And she has so much passion for it, and she's been doing it. So the first thing, like we've promised that we're not going to pay like ourselves salaries, but we'll start with her. And then the second thing is to have a big celebration in our community. And like, because our community has a lot of moms, mainly in Kazakhstan, but in different parts of the world. So have like an online celebration, because it wouldn't be just because of us doing, but it's because of their support and them helping us to expand.
Yeah, parenting is unbelievably complicated and draining and amazing and difficult. And I think anything where you can support a community is amazing. Thank you very much. Okay, Revolution. What would be the first thing you're doing? Is Revolution A's or I's? I'm going to
Revolutionize. It's
Revolutionize. Oh, like Revolutionize. I don't know why. I didn't quite get it from the way that was. But it makes total sense. My apologies. Okay, so what's the first thing that Revolutionize will do when the funding's come through, when you've got your mentorship? What would be the thing on your wish list?
Yeah. We would love to screen 500,000 children. And if we are able to do that, we would love to track 100,000 of them with malnutrition and help them be healthy. So tracking them. And we would also love to get integrated with our central government's portal, which would be a great breakthrough for us.
Wow, that's an incredibly huge goal. And thank you very much. Very concise as well. Okay, Doro, over to you. Let's assume that the checks come through. You've got mentorship straight away. Like you could literally phone up anybody and they would not only take your call, they would just call you like first thing in the morning. You haven't even had your coffee or tea yet. What would be the first thing you do once everything is in place?
I would probably call my family, specifically my mom, who has been very active. She's a doctor herself, and she's been active in actually helping out, and she knows it firsthand how hard it is to lose someone to a disease. And that's why, for me personally, I would be calling her and telling her, we made it. Now we are gonna make it happen for others. We couldn't make it for our grandma, but at least for others, we can make it happen.
Oh my goodness, that would make her cry as well. So brilliant. So basically all of you are trying to make everybody around you cry with happiness, which actually is quite lovely. Okay, and then Rahana, I don't know if you were able to hear what the question was. Well, we're waiting for the judges to deliberate, but the question was, what happens once you've got the funding, once you've got the mentorship, once you've got everything in place? What's the first thing that you're going to do?
So we'll finalize our MVP, and then we'll improve our AI chatbots, then we'll launch, and then we'll market our product.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Startups, you're being incredible, by the way. This is all kind of must feel a little bit stressful because we're just trying to have a nice, gentle chat. We're waiting on this result that might change the future of where you're all going. So thank you once again for your understanding. I see some judges returning. So this is the moment. This is super exciting. Now, I'm not entirely sure how this next bit's going to go, but I'm presuming, judges, that you've chosen somebody to speak for everybody and that you're going to let us know what the results are of this incredible afternoon. And startups, no matter what, I'm sure that you're all destined for great success, and who knows, people watching may well be taking a greater interest in what you're doing as a result as well. So Thomas, your hand is raised. I think it's time to hear the results. We can't hear you.
That's amazing. So I'm supposed to.
The suspense is even greater. Thomas, we can't actually hear your audio. Perhaps there's something over the microphone. It's really muffled. We have been somewhat beset by technical difficulties, haven't we? But we are excited and patient and ready.
Maybe Alexandra, do you want to start off in the meantime, give me feedback?
Okay, but now we could hear you so well. But I just wanted to start off by saying that every single one of you had done a wonderful job today presenting. You were concise but deep in your knowledge that you had shared today. I think you all had demonstrated an amazing use of AI to better healthcare space for all. And we're just grateful to be here to give you some feedback. And we just want to congratulate you for driving the innovation forward that you are.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. I just go a bit more deeper if you allow me to give feedback to each one of you. So again, very humble as WHO, and thank you everyone for putting the effort to solve really important problems. I think all of you have looked at the pain points in the system through a personal story as well, but this is a big public health impact. So kudos to all the four of the startups. I think important problems of demand. Of maternal child health, and of course, the stunting and malnutrition areas. I do encourage, and on behalf of all the judges, to make sure that you continue working in respect to the result. We are here to help any ways we can going forward. So it's not a 1 hour session that we're finishing off. And I can say it on behalf of the judges that we are very keen to support this growth forward. There's enough market space for all these innovations. So very happy to help any ways we can, and very excited with this. I think with that, I'll hand it over to Thomas now. Hopefully his audio is in to announce the result.
Can you hear me?
Yes, better.
Okay. Well, I think it was a good thing that my audio wasn't working. So maybe
it's still not very clear, Thomas. I don't know if the others can hear you.
Okay. So can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, we can.
So I think it was a good thing that my audio wasn't working because it gave Alexandra and Samir the chance to say something. I would also love to have Cedric say something before I announce the winners because it's important.
No, thank you, Thomas. Well, I mean, echo what Samir and Alexandra already said. I think it was not easy to choose a winner. We actually asked if we could choose two, but we had to choose a single winner. So there's a lot of good all four of you are doing. There's like Samir said, I'd love to have a follow-up with you, and obviously on the technology side, I'm super interested to see how you're building this, how we could support or help you guys. So I'm certain the organization will connect us for after this event. But I think you're doing incredible work, and I think it's Thomas' turn to announce our winner for today.
Thank you. So we discussed in length, and we finally decided that the winner is Revolutionize. Congratulations, but also congratulations to everybody else. Because you already made it through a list of companies. You went through a pretty strong filtering. You're already in the last four, so you're all winners. But to Revolutionize, you are the ones that, and then we'll see you in Geneva in July.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to the judges, the host, ITU, to all the UN organizations, and we hope to make you proud. Thank you so much.
Oh, congratulations, Revolutionize, and all of our contestants. I'm pretty certain that the judges are going to be very interested in staying in touch with all of you after their feedback, which is a lovely thing to hear. You've all been completely and amazingly extraordinary, and you've got through some incredibly difficult technological adversity, including the judges as well. So well done to everybody. And as I said before, the winner gets to do some pitching at the AI for Good Global Summit in 2025 and so many other things as well. I'm going to hand over to Guillaume to give us a little bit of extra on what's going to happen. But for now, thank you ever so much to our judges and to our contestants. You've all been absolutely brilliant. And I will hand back over to Guillaume now. I've been LJ Rich, and I'll see you soon.
No, thank you so much, LJ, for this excellent moderation. Congratulations to the winner. We're very much looking forward to welcoming you in Geneva in July, to all the judges, participants, and startups that join us for today's session. For the winner, we'll keep in touch with you and have another closed session to hear more about your business plan in detail and help you explore further business opportunities. And we also encourage you to check out the AI for Good program online to see more sessions that may be of interest for you. So we are very much looking forward to our upcoming AI for Good Innovation Factory next week in Barcelona, and of course, the AI for Good Innovation Grand Finale in Geneva on the 9th of July. So stay tuned with us and hope to see you next time, and have a very nice, lovely day, afternoon, wherever you are, and hope to see you again very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for participating in today's AI for Good session. We hope you've learned something new, innovative, and engaging in today's event. We now encourage you to continue the conversation on the live video wall in the neural network. Here you can ask questions, like and comment, share links, complete the poll, connect with interesting profiles, or speak one-on-one using the chat and video function. We invite you to explore the lobby, try the smart matching quiz, visit the virtual exhibits, poster boards, the eShop, and build your personalized AI for Good program. Let's shape the future of AI for Good.